Hello everyone, thanks for tuning into today's bird video. Going to have a look at the weather for the next 10 to 14 days for today's bird video. Day 10 takes us to the 25th of July, and we'll be able to extend out beyond that with GFS and ECM ensembles. Maybe around a couple of weeks. Have a look at CFS V2 at the end of the video for the next 4 weeks. Gets us into the first half of August, and I'll get on back for you in a moment. Just say about the first video today. It was our 6 AM UK weather forecast, and we've also released the EC Extended European Outlook. Check out both of those bits if you'd like to do that. Like, share, and subscribe on all of today's videos and content. Thank you so much, everyone, for doing that for GavsWeatherVids. Thank you so much, everyone. Right, going to start off with the latest wind from Matt from earth.nullschool.net, showing that low pressure has taken over today. So, a little bit different compared to what we've had through many recent weeks and months. We have actually got an area of low pressure sitting across the country. The south bank is quite windy through England and Wales. A lot of precipitation with this low is in northern regions, but there has been a little bit of rain even down into the south. Central England temperature is currently sitting at 18.9, nearly 19 degrees. That's 2.9 degrees above 61 to 1990 average provisional to the 14th of July to yesterday. These are the GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles for the next couple of weeks. Looking at Chelmsford in Essex today. The red line is a 30-year upper air temperature average for Chelmsford, starting off a little bit below average with the upper air temperatures actually at the moment, so it's certainly cooler, fresher feel, though warm when the sun's out. Upper air temperatures will be lifting up again through the rest of this week before dropping into the weekend, and then hovering close to average as we move into the final week of the month. Precipitation-wise, a lot of dry weather to come over the next couple of days. More unsettled at the end of the week, though, and into the weekend. Could actually be quite a wet weekend, not much of a barbecue weekend this weekend, I don't think, with plenty of rain potential. Perhaps a drying trend into the last week of July again, but of course that is a long way off and therefore it's unreliable. Temperature anomalies for the next 5 days to the 20th of July, generally a bit above average. 6 to 10 day, also a little bit above average. 10 to 14 day, actually goes a bit below average though for northern and western regions, still a little bit above average though in the southeast. Precipitation anomalies next 7 days to the 22nd of July, wetter than average across many areas. 8 to 14 day goes drier than average for England and Wales. Okay, let's start going through the chart data then. This is our latest UK Met Euro. Roads looking big night on Friday. Low pressure to the west of the UK and Ireland. And as we go into the weekend, low pressure develops both to the west and also moves up from the south. So we've got a pincer movement going on there, looking increasingly unsettled as we go through the weekend with that low potentially bringing some quite heavy rain with it. And the low sticks around into the early part of next week across England and Wales, so further showers to come then. To the northwest, we have got a ridge, probably bringing something a bit drier and warmer. I can't again bring low pressure in from both west and also from the south as we're moving through the weekend. That will bring spells of rain with it. Could be a bit thundery as well, potentially with that low. Got to firm up on the details with that. And then into next week, where the low gradually eases away to the east as a ridge starts developing out to the west, but still probably quite showery up to next Tuesday anyway. KMA, much of a muchness, low pressure taking over from the west and also from the south through the weekend. And then into next week, up toward day 10, high pressure tries to extend up from the Azores, so the south probably turning a bit drier and warmer there, but north could still be a little bit changeable though. The GFS midnight run once more has low pressure to the west and also to the south as we're moving through the weekend, and that low pressure sort of develops through the country. Will bring spells of rain with it. Into next week, the low pressure moves away. Heights try to build to the south, but not really successfully doing so. So today 10, which is the 25th of July, we're flat and westerly. high pressure to the south and southwest, low pressure to the north and northwest. Probably mostly dry down in the south, but a little bit changeable still in the north. In more extended range, the Azores high does make a more definitive move, so it turns drier, perhaps hotter, and more settled as we go through that last week of July then. That's to be 31st of July as far as we get to with GFS today. GFS 6Z by comparison, bringing in plenty of low pressure through the weekend. That looks like it could be a bit of a soaker, I have to say. So if you're ready for some rain in the part south, I think this weekend could deliver some quite significant rain for you and your garden. With that low, famous last words, given what's happened over the past few weeks, months, how dry it's been. But it does look significant. If we don't get significant rain from that, let's go back to it. Don't get significant rain from that, then we won't get significant rain from anything. I wouldn't have thought. Anyway, through next week, that low gets out of the way. High pressure builds up from the south, brings a lot of dry and warmer weather in with it. That's day 10. We've got low pressure north, high pressure south, flat and westerly then. And then low pressure keeps on driving through as we go into the closing days of the month. So that's the 27th of July under a trough of low then. Well, that's the 31st of July. So as far as we get to the GFS 6 then, looks slightly autumnal, that, doesn't it? 985 millibar area of low pressure, I think that is at its centre. With to the north of Scotland, with quite a strong westerly blow as well. Bit early to be said about looking autumnal, but it does have that sort of flavour to it anyway. So I don't know where things are going here. Is this like a definitive breakdown to the summer pattern, or will we get ourselves back to the persistent high pressure Azores ridging and whatnot? But it's going to be interesting to see how the next 2 or 3 weeks play out, isn't it? Well, if you enjoyed the video, please like, share and subscribe. Thank you so much everyone for doing that. Why not drop a comment and let us know what you think about this and all of our videos, content, live streams, etc, etc, etc. And don't forget to tell friends about GavsWeatherVids. Get to subscribe too. Thanks so much everyone for doing about 70 subscribers will get us to 20.5k. Thank you so much everyone. Right, GM, again, low pressure moving in from the Atlantic and pushing up from the south into the weekend. So pincer movement from west and from the south going on over the weekend with spells of rain. That means unsettled low pressure dominated conditions last into the early part of next week as well. Eventually the low moves out towards Germany and Poland. We build a ridge through Western Europe so it turns drier as we go into the middle part of next week. That gets us day 10 with Bijem looking rather showery and a bit on the cool side. Winds in from the northwest. The ECM rounds it all off. Low pressure pushing up from the south and moving in from the west over the weekend, bringing spells of rain in with it. Next week we're flat and westerly, so mostly unsettled in the north, drier in the south, but even there could be a bit showering. Day 10 we start to see signs of the Azores high beginning to make a move, and as we go to extended with the ECM, different to most of the other model output, but the ECM does build up an area of high pressure from the Azores, so the closing days of July turning much warmer, probably hotter and mostly dry once again with that large extension I should say, from the Azores high there. So the ECM does bring summer back. Okay, this is a precipitation forecast based on the ECM run up to day 10. So here's the current showering conditions, but we've got particularly for central, northern and western regions. Not much rain down in the south and not much in the north either. Now, as we go for the next few days, it's going to be mostly dry with a few showers scattered about through the rest of this week. Into the weekend, though, this wet weather starts pushing up from the south. This could be thunderstorms initially and then spells of rain taking over from the Atlantic as well. So all in all, looking really quite unsettled over weekend to the start of next week, and then through next week it's a drying trend as that ridge builds from off the Atlantic. These are the options on the table within the ECM Ensemble today. Board day 10 from the Icelandic Met Office gets us to the 25th of July. 20 members of the ECM Ensembles with low pressure to the north, high pressure to the south, keeping us flat, and westerly 16 with high pressure ridging up from the southwest into western and northern Europe. That's breaking us out of being unsettled weather, probably. And hold on. So sorry, everyone. It will be Gav video or live stream about a cough. And 13 with high pressure out to the north and the west. And, well, that's going to be bringing drier weather, but could be a bit cool, perhaps, with winds in from the northeast. Now, in 2 weeks' time, these are the options that we've got. And it gets us to the 30th of July. So we've got 20 members of the ECM Ensembles with low pressure to the northeast, high pressure to the northwest. So a bit northwesterly, a bit cool and showery. 12 with low pressure across Scotland. Again, could be a bit cool and showery. 10 with high pressure ridging in from the Atlantic into Western Europe. That includes big control of the operational run. And 9 with high pressure blocking in the North Atlantic around Greenland and Iceland. And that will bring the wind in from the north or northeasterly direction. So, the operational ECM, building that high pressure and bringing summer back, actually isn't all that well supported within its ensemble. It's a bit of an outlier, it's not too clean, I think. The most likely scenario is the 20 and the 12, which keeps that gets us to 31. That's like the majority option. You could probably include the 9 here with that as well to some degree. And they're keeping things cooler and more showery. So no definitive sign, or no sign of a definitive return to summer there, even within the ECM ensembles, despite the ECM operational run going in that direction. That doesn't mean the ECM operational run is wrong in its idea of building up this large ridge from the Azores, but it just means it's not well supported. But, you know, it could be right. It could be seeing something, but the rest of the ensemble members aren't. Right, okay, CFS and then we're done. So these are 500 millibar height anomalies, and we break it down into week periods. The first week period takes from the 15th, 21st of July. Next week, high pressure to the north-northeast brings the wind in from the east. Low pressure starts heading in from off the Atlantic. Could bring some wet weather into the south. Week 2 will be the 22nd, 28th of July. High pressure getting to the south and southwest. Low pressure to the northwest. That could be bringing the warmest, driest weather into the south, I suppose. Week 3 will be 29th of July. Come on, highlighter. Will be 29th of July to the 4th of August. Low pressure across the north and west of Europe. High pressure out in the Atlantic. That will be bringing cooler and more unsettled conditions with it. And then week 4, look at this. It's the 5th through to the 11th of August with a trough of low right over top of the UK and Ireland. That's certainly not going to be a hot start to August. If that comes off, the jet stream is down there somewhere. Hot start to August for Eastern Europe and the Black Sea, but for Western Europe, that's a rather cool and unsettled start to August, or first half to August. So we'll see. It's all rather interesting at the moment. We're certainly having something of a pattern change this week. Whether that's a definitive change in the pattern that's going to carry us through the second half of the summer or not remains to be seen. And as ever, we'll be keeping you updated at GavsWeatherVids. Okay, we're done. If you've enjoyed the video, please like, share and subscribe. Thank you so much everyone for doing that. Drop a comment, let us know what you think about this standard of our videos, content, live streams, etc. Don't forget to tell friends about GavsWeatherVids. Get subscribed too. Thanks so much everyone for doing that. Tomorrow we've got 6 AM UK weather forecast. I'm going to be live at 6 PM. We attend the 14 day. We'll go for the Copernicus long range suite of models as well tomorrow. So plenty of long range coming up. You enjoy the rest of your Tuesday though. And for this one, that's all for now. And thanks for watching.